Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello and welcome dear friends. Welcome to another video lecture by Kami Biology. In this video lecture we are going to talk about ribosomes. Obviously these are the videos, this is the video lecture regarded with the cell. So in this video what we are going to talk about, we are going to talk about cell. We are going to talk about ribosomes. Ribosomes means in ribosomes, especially what we are going to talk about, we are going to talk about difference between the ribosomes of the eukaryotic cell and the ribosomes of the prokaryotic cells. Man, it is very complicated and very complex and huge topic, but in this video I will just a little bit explain the ribosomes, that what is actually ribosomes, what is the difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic ribosomes, a little bit, not in a detail, and just I want to clear your concept. So before going to explain the difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic ribosome, first of all we need to understand, let's talk about the introduction to ribosomes. Ribosomes was first of all discovered by a scientist named Palette. It was discovered by Palette. And therefore it is also called Pallet's particle as well. Pallet's particle. So that's why it is also called Pallet's particle. Now the ribosomes are actually, if we see the structure of the ribosome, so it's have very complex and complicated structure. And the ribosomes is actually made up of what? The ribosomes is actually, it is made up of, we can say that it is made up of protein and rRNA, means ribonucleic acid. So it is made up of rRNA and proteins. One thing more, ribosomes are the non-membranous, they are the non-membranous structure, non-membranous. Yes. Means some of the organelles which are present in the eukaryotic cell, for example mitochondria have a membrane, for example Golgi body have their own membrane, but if we see the ribosomes don't have the membrane. So ribosomes doesn't have the membrane. So that's all about a little bit introduction to ribosomes. And one thing more, the ribosomes are actually responsible for the protein synthesis, and so ribosomes are actually responsible for the protein synthesis. Now if we see the structure of the ribosome, so how the ribosomes will be look like. Ribosomes actually contain two subunits, one we call that large subunit and the other we call that small subunits. So the ribosomes having two subunits, let me draw. One we call that large subunit and the other they have the small subunit. Similarly, this is, let's suppose, the prokaryotic ribosomes. Let's suppose this is what? This is the prokaryotic ribosomes. And on the other hand we have the eukaryotic. Let me draw the eukaryotic with a different marker. So this is the eukaryotic ribosomes having small subunit. Yes. Now these are what? These are the large subunit. These are the large subunit. Actually the ribosomes contain, means the ribosomes also contain three sites, three specific sites. If we see the structure of the ribosomes, so it contains three specific sites. The one we call that A site and P site. Similarly the small subunit have also the same sites as well, means A, P and E. In eukaryotic cell, let me write here eukaryotic cell, means eukaryotic ribosomes. Eukaryotic ribosome. in eukaryotic cells, they have also the same three sites as in the prokaryotic cell. A site, P site, and E sites. Means A, sorry for that, A, P, E. So both have these three sites. These means these sites are actually responsible for the protein synthesis. I already explained that how the protein is synthesized inside the cells. So a protein is actually synthesized inside the cell by this ribosome machine. So ribosomes is actually a machine which are responsible for the protein synthesis. How? I already explained it. If you missed that video lecture, so go back to my channel and just watch that how actually the ribosomes are synthesized. So these sites, as I draw with these sites, these are what? These are the small subunit. Small subunit. Fine. Now, if we see in case of eukaryotic cell, this small subunit is actually made up of 60. This large subunit is actually 60s, and this small subunit will be the 40s, and together it make a 80s. Although when we add it, it is 100, but actually they are, when they are combined together, means this 60 and 40s combined together, then they make 80s, not 100s. Okay, keep it in your mind, because a lot of the students have some confusion that when 60 and 40 are added together, they are 100, but actually in this case they will be 80s. Now in this case, if we see, this is the means 50s, and this will be the 30s, and together they make 70s, not 80s. Okay, this is very important things. 50 and 30 is actually 70s. Then a lot of the students asking me questions that what does it mean S? What does this S means? S means Sidberg. So this is a little bit about the ribosome structure. Now if we see the diameter, of the ribosomes, in case of eukaryotic cell, the diameter of the ribosomes will be in case of eukaryotic cell, the diameter will be 22 nanometer. This will be the diameter of the ribosomes in case of the eukaryotic cell. But in case of the prokaryote, the diameter will be 14 to 18 nanometer. In some books they says 14 to 15. In some books they says 14 to 20. Means there will be a little bit variations. So the exact may be 14 to 18 nanometer in diameter. So this is about the prokaryotic ribosomes diameter. Actually the ribosomes are present freely. In some cells it is present freely. For example, in eukaryotic cell the ribosomes are present freely. But in eukaryotic cell the ribosomes are also present in the mitochondria, which we call that mitoribosomes. Mitochondria. And it is also present in the plastid, which we call it plastoribosomes, plastid, and as well as it is also attached with the ER, means endoplasmic reticulum. So if we see the ribosomes, it is present in mitochondria, then we call it mitoribosomes. It is present in plastid, then we call it plastioribosomes, and it is also attached. Actually in these two organelles it is present, but with endoplasmic reticulum they are attached. Okay, so that's all about the presence or attachment of the ribosomes. But sometimes these ribosomes are also freely in the cytoplasm. When the ribosomes are present freely in the cytoplasmic matrix, then we call it free ribosome. But when the ribosomes are present with the mitochondria, or when the ribosomes are present in the plastid, or when they are attached with the endoplasmic reticulum, then we call that bounded ribosomes. What we call that? We call that bounded ribosomes. But when these ribosomes are free, so then freely present in the cytoplasm, then we call that free ribosomes. Free ribosomes. ribosomes. When the ribosomes are present in mitochondria, plastid, and when they are attached with the endoplasmic reticulum, then it is usually occur in case of the eukaryotic cell, not in prokaryotic cell, because in prokaryotic cell these organelles are not present. But in case of when the ribosomes are freely, so it means that it is actually present in the prokaryotic cell. Ribosomes are always present in prokaryotic cell in a freely form. I mean, it is in a freely form present in the in cytoplasm. But what actually happened? These ribosomes are not only present freely in case of the prokaryotic cell. In case of eukaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell, the ribosomes are also present freely as well. Fine. So that's all about the ribosomes presence inside the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So that's all about the ribosomes. It's very complicated and very big and large topics. When you find it in the YouTube, many of the channels, when you find the ribosomes, so many of the channels explain the ribosomes in a very detail. But actually I explain it in a short form. I just want to clear your concept, although it's very complicated and big lecture. So that's all about the ribosomes. I hope you understand about that. But if still you have any kind of questions related with the ribosomes, so write it into a comment. Inshallah, I will give you answer as soon as possible. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe the channel to get more interesting video lecture regarding with the cells. Thank you so much.